In the words of Nelson Mandela, education is the most powerful weapon which can be used to change the world. Our founding fathers in Nigeria identified with this statement when they placed high emphasis on education in the bid to develop the nation and place it on a solid pedestal. Without controversy, education has proven to be the pivot as well as the foundation for national growth. With the establishment of the first university in Nigeria in 1948 and the proliferation of other universities, Nigeria has established its footprint on the sand of time as a nation that has embraced education as a tool for governance, social development, human management, and economic growth. However, the aspirations and expectations of the founding fathers could not be sustained, resulting in gradual but obvious decadence in the quality of education in Nigeria, with attendant vices of cultism, examination malpractices, and falsification of results. The neglect on the part of the successive governments, leading to underfunding of the universities, has also pitched the university authorities against the government, leading to incessant strikes and prolonged closure of schools. As no responsible government will fold its arm and watch as the educational system collapse, the federal government, in response to the rot in our education system, commenced the licensing of private universities in Nigeria with the establishment of Igbenedion University in 1999. The Apostolic Faith Church, Nigeria, under the leadership of Reverend Paul Akazue, and in conjunction with the Apostolic Faith International headquarters in Portland, Oregon, United States of America, moved to utilize the opportunity provided by the Act establishing private universities in Nigeria. Consequently, the Apostolic Faith Secondary School, AFSS, was established in September 2002. The success of AFSS gave the irresistible motivation to establish the Crawford University, which is named after the founder of the Apostolic Faith Church, the late Reverend Florence Crawford. Furthermore, the vices besetting our higher institutions and the high level of unemployment, amongst others, provided further impetus for the establishment of the university.
About 6 years ago, we were not thinking of schools. But since 6 years, we have been thinking of schools because we discovered that the standard of education in the public schools became so deplorable. And we didn't want to fold hands and see our children imbibe standards that are not sound. We want sound education. We want quality education. We want functional education for our children so they'll be able to solve life problems and be useful in the gospel. So this is why we decided to venture into education. You know it. These embarrassing things like exam leakage and all that kind of thing. It was never mentioned during our school days, but the last days, corruption is creeping into many quarters to embarrass humanity. So we went into education because the government of Nigeria realized that they could not deliver the goods educationally alone. So they encouraged the missions to take back their schools, and others who want to open schools could. Then we felt that was our chance because we want our children to have education laced with godliness, education with righteousness, so that they will go into the society and carry out a silent revolution. I mean, by affecting the society, being light of the world. Christians are the light of the world. Wherever they go to, they will be shining for Jesus. And it will revolutionize the society. It's already beginning to happen. Yeah. Because since we started opening schools, we have seen children that got converted, and they in turn got their parents converted. When they got to home on holiday, their parents saw the dramatic change in their lives, and they wonder, what happened to you? So it's salvation. One girl explained salvation to the mother, and they knelt down in their sitting room, and the mother prayed through to salvation. Amen. So this is what is happening. When God helped us to open the Crawford University in the year 2005, I happened to be on grounds to preach the first sermon, the first Sunday in that university. Somebody got saved that day who was not an apostolic faith member before. And ever since, this has been the trend. In the revival trend we had last year at Anthony Village here, it's spectacular to note that over 250 students got saved one night. So this has been the order of the day. So these children are enjoying good quality education, and they are enjoying sound word of God, and they are getting saved. So you see, we're killing many birds with one stone. So it's been very, very heartwarming.
The sustainability of the seed sown in AFSS was also a critical factor in the decision to establish the university. Today, the university is a living and thriving reality in spite of all odds. The mission of the Crawford University is in agreement with a quote made by the Duke of Wellington, Arthur Wesley, when he said, "Educate people without religion, and you make them but clever devils." The mission statement of Crawford University is to be an international institution of learning, to train the mind, body, and spirit into a total personality, to serve God and humanity. Crawford University obtained our operating license from the federal government of Nigeria on June 9, 2005, and took off officially on September 20, 2005.
Well, the university got a license from the government in June 9, 2005. And we started work, and we actually commenced, we opened this university to students in September 30th, 2005, and then we go on. By the time we started, it was a lot of challenges, because we started from a room in the guest house. All our administrative setup was in that room, and we get some classrooms. So we were faced with a lot of challenges, but we are trying to, God is helping us. I will say, what we did is not our own strength. I don't believe it's our strength, because these resources we have, the human resources we have to start this university, and what we were able to achieve, we did that in June, almost end of June by the time we started. And we started September 30th. What we did, we were able to advertise for students, we advertised for staff, we got some staff. All those things within 3 months, and other things to get other things in place to start the university, to get some physical facilities in place to start the university. It was a tremendous amount of work, and we didn't have many hands to use. So when I look back today, I say it's not as strong. It's just work.
Student intake, what was the number?
When we started, we attracted about 235 students. 235 students.
How many departments are there?
We have 2 colleges. We started with we got permission to operate 3 colleges: College of Agriculture, College of Natural and Applied Sciences, College of Business and Social Sciences. Unfortunately, we were not getting enough students in agriculture, so we only get about 2 students in agriculture, and it's not viable to have a college of 2 students. So we are having usually 2 colleges and different departments in these colleges.
How many departments?
We have about 16 departments
Altogether.
Well, apart from the ICT, our students on their own, some of them have formed themselves into professional associations, which is something we've tried to encourage. Keeps them very busy and gives them insight into their subject matter areas in depth. Among them are the accounting students and the Economics Students Association. Recently, our economics students had a contest that comprised 4 private universities: Bears University, Redeemers, Covenant, and Crawford. And surprisingly, our students beat every other university in that contest.
Are you surprised?
Well, because we had not stretched them out, we had not thought we could perform that well. But I think if we had taken cue from the fact that a very large number of them passed the international certificate of this ICT recently, as the best anywhere in the country, maybe we could have taken cue that our students are really well brought up. They are doing very well. And we feel very proud about their achievements, and we encourage them in every way we can to pursue the goals for which they set themselves to pursue with all diligence and sense of responsibility.
Crawford University is located at kilometer 8, Aton Agbara Road, off Lagos Badagry Road in the west and Idiroko Road in the east. Furthermore, it lies somewhere between Lagos State University, Ojo, and Covenant University, Ota. The availability of over 100 acres of flat land makes this location suitable for present and proposed programs. In addition, the availability of 100 acres of land at Oye-Ekiti for the College of Agriculture is paving way for specialization and regional spread of the university.
I can't but tell this august body what this gentleman here sitting has done to facilitate this ceremony of today. His government has graciously reduced the payment on the CFO of this place by 4 million. It's a brand new road that we are looking at here. It's almost purposely built because of this school toilet. And you can see the Part1 water, the pipes is being laid across this place. Very close to town. It's meant for this school. Coming next week or so, about 17 million naira will be paid for the people having crops on this land. The clearing of this project is being done. Sometimes ago we thought we will start about early before the run. We asked the government that he should donate to us a hilos for the running of the campus here. He was giving that consultation before the run. We don't know. He's here today. He's a man of his words. I think the all that this man needs from you, I didn't say he's a wealthy man, but before becoming the governor, he was seriously convenient. He was into his own business, he worked briefly with some companies, and he was in his business. he was convening, and he needs only your prayers. Himself, a child of God, a leader of a sect, a leader of Methodist Church here. That's why you can see the Archbishop of the Methodist Church here, because this is the first citizen of the church. Apart from being the governor, he's been there before, taking up the appointment as governor. I am not a politician, and I don't want to talk politics, but I believe this man personifies Oye, and Oye is Oni. You don't say that all the time, but I am bold with the support of my people to tell you that we are going to follow him to places. He has his own plan for the school. You are bringing him, particularly the School of Agriculture. He has his belief that a single farmer could feed Ekiti State in US. Why not this school feeding this state? Banded on this side by a very big river for irrigation. For he's very concerned about electricity generation, which could be used for electricity generation too. He's thinking of industry too. He's an engineer. He knows what it takes to build industry. He's getting involved with industrial layout for this area. So you are free to pray fervently for the success of the government of this man, for the success of his family, for the success of his team. The Holy Bible says, whoever prays for Jerusalem shall prosper. When you pray for Sheguni and his coming, surely you shall prosper. Amen. God bless you. Thank you.
Kábíyèsí, Adépẹ́ lórí bàtà pẹ́lẹ́sẹ̀, Ọ̀yẹ́ ó ṣẹ̀ bẹ̀rẹ̀ ni, lágbára Ọlọ́run gbà kí this town will go from strength to strength. Our distinguished guests, Reverend Lee, and the eminent men of God from the Apostolic Faith Nations worldwide, the Vice Chancellor of Crawford University, who happens to be my teacher in Ife, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, today is a day of joy. And we are extremely happy because we know that the height that the Almighty God is taking this community to may not be easy for us to imagine now, but I know it's going to be very far. And part of what God is trying to do is to bring a mission as solid as the Apostolic Faith worldwide, to come here to be part of our education and to be part of our agriculture and to be part of our enterprise all at the same time. I believe that the College of Agriculture that you are citing here could not have been in any other place. This is a terrain, and you can see it green all throughout the year. This is the way it is throughout the year, green, very fertile land, and where you are now is almost virgin. It's almost virgin. So anything you do here will show an exceptional yield. And it's going to be a very good terrain to train young people in theory and in the practicals of agriculture. We believe that Crawford is going to offer a world-class education, And if you now overlay that on a world-class environment where there can be hands-on practicals, then the education will be unparalleled. I was discussing with KBSC, and I said, if I were Crawford, I know it's impossible, but I said if I were Crawford, that I can run the entire Crawford institution on this terrain, from proceeds from this terrain, because we will continue to give you land as much as you want. What you have now can just be regarded as phase one. You can invest in commercial agriculture here. You can export, and so you can make enough money from commercial agriculture and now plow that into education. I believe that one of the greatest things that will happen to a college of agriculture is to have 1,000, 2,000 students on a tractor working freely. Their labor is also money. Working freely for an institution that is also giving them education. And by that, translating what they learn in school into wealth, instant wealth. And you can now back that up with agro-processing. And we are planning here to have an airport, which will not be very far from here in Lado. So, and what we are targeting is actually exports, produce exports. So it's going to be a cargo airport more or less, but it will also handle other things. So that people can grow anything here and send it to any part of the country. You can experiment here. You have the latitude everywhere. We are going to support you. I want to admonish you to dream very big. See this as education, as agriculture, as enterprise, all rolled into one. And I believe that by the time you put your wherewithal to play here, the world, and indeed the whole world, will want to come and see what you're doing here. I therefore have absolute confidence that what we are just starting, Nigerians will say like play. It's going to be a world-class institution. That even us here, when we look back in 5 or 10 years, we'll wonder the extent to which God has used our hands to transform the landscape here. I want to pledge on behalf of the government every support that we should give, we will give. We will ensure that your takeoff is very, very smooth. We would encourage you to start on as quickly as possible. This should be a place for the world to come and see. I have talked about agric. I almost missed out hospitality. I also dream of a place like this where you have agric, even if it is agric tourism or some kind of hospitality going with it, that you can put up a splendor here that can be a center even for training your missionaries worldwide and so on. And I have always also dreamt of a day when the apostolic faith will put up a music school in this state. That was the first thing I asked for. As a very young boy, I did music at all levels. Therefore, classical music has always been a part of me from when I was a teenager. I used to play the keyboard until my eyesight was very, very bad. I couldn't read the notes. But I always think about young men, young boys and girls